I want to share a brief review of the reality of using the IKEA Matter supported smart home switch. Now, I was really sold on the idea here. This is really affordable. It has up to 6 functions, and you can press, double press, or press and hold on these 2 buttons each. So that's 6 total functions. You can assign them directly to an accessory, such as light bulbs. Oh, look, there's a good example. It didn't work. In this review, I'm going to talk about the problems with this switch. The first thing is inconsistency. So the second thing is delay. And the third thing is quality. I pressed this button and it looked like maybe 10 whole seconds later it finally worked. And that's fine, but that is if it does work. So I'm going to start with the inconsistency. First of all, it works sometimes, and sometimes it has a delay, and then sometimes it doesn't work at all. So when there's a delay, you're not really waiting around for it to work. You're sitting there waiting to see if it will work and if you have to do anything about it. That is frustrating because the point of having something like this or any smart home function or accessory is to reduce friction in life. It's meant to make things easier. It's unnecessary. These things are not necessary at all, and the only purpose it serves, in my opinion, at least for using basic functions such as turning on lights and turning off lights, the only value is in making it be automatic or simple or more accessible. So typically there are more options on what you can do to turn on your lights and turn them off. Like you can do a voice command. Hey Siri, turn off the bedroom lights. Now, as you can see, the delay might not be a switch problem. It could just be smart homes having a delay, or maybe even just Apple Home. I have not had a smart home other than Apple Home, and to my understanding, Apple Home is a bit behind. Alexa and Google, I hear, are ahead of Apple, so I should add the context that this is just with Apple. Now notice I pressed the on button, which is tied to my nightstands. I didn't even press it again. So again, that was like a full 10 seconds, and it was even more of a delay than when I did the voice command. And it is pretty immediate when I use the controls through the smart home app, or the Apple Home app. So here's the actual app. It looks the same on the iPhone. Let's see here. Bedroom, nightstands. See, it's pretty immediate. Now, when I'm looking at the settings of this switch that is tied to my bedroom, it has 6 different functions, and I've tried many different options, and I ultimately decided to simplify and go with just nightstands on and off. If I single press one of these buttons, on and off for nightstands. Now, the thing is, this switch has to communicate directly to one of the hubs, which could be a HomePod or Apple Home, or even, I believe the iPad is a hub. And then it goes through the hub to communicate to the accessory, the light bulb. So there can be a delay there, which honestly is not the worst problem. It's when it doesn't work at all and you're sitting around waiting, feeling like an idiot. Like, is this going to work? Especially when someone's watching. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Now, the inconsistency and the delay sucks. But then, after maybe about a month of using these, it just stopped working on 2 of them. I purchased 6 of these, and 2 of them stopped working. I replaced the batteries on this, got new batteries, and it still did not help. The light came on, but I have spent way too much time trying to figure out how to get this to work and trying to, I've removed it from my Apple Home, I've tried reconnecting it, and I'm really not sure what's going on here. But these things were I think $8 each. So, not bad. I guess I could buy a new one, but the question is, do I want to? I'm sold on the idea, I'm sold on the concept, but I'm not sold on the execution. And honestly, I haven't found... Okay, I turned on the double click, the double press to work with my fan. Okay. Honestly, I haven't found another version of this yet. I'd be willing to pay a little bit more for a higher quality experience and more consistency. But part of the inconsistency is also what it does physically. So it has a physical magnet here, and so you can just mount this little metal piece, adhesive, and then you can just put this here, magnet, you know, simple. But when you're walking in and out of your room, you know, you just flip the switch and you're used to doing it without thinking about it. The reason I put this here was so I could use this instead. And the reason for that is if I turn off the power, then my smart home cannot connect to it. Accessories won't connect to scenes. And basically, it's one of the many things that a smart home upgrade can actually cause more inconvenience and friction. So I have to leave this up. I've debated like putting tape or putting a cover so this doesn't get used, but I haven't been able to fully rely on this thing because of the fact that it doesn't always work. And when I'm trying to quickly turn on the light or turn it off real quick, other than the delay, which is, you know, annoying in itself, this thing sometimes just falls if you don't do it perfectly right. Now, I don't like to get on here and complain about these things. I like to praise anytime it's going to work, but, you know, we got to be real here. That's so funny. The light finally just turned off from when I clicked it. So I've looked into this. Is it a Wi-Fi problem? I don't think so. I was sold on the promise for this thing. I'll probably still make videos on what you can do with it. If I do identify the exact problem, then I'll share that as well. But as of now, this has created more friction than convenience. So it's been a bit of a flop so far. This has been my experience with the IKEA smart home switch. It's a pretty good price, but honestly, it doesn't always work. Now, if you want to see what I did with the third function of each button, I actually set those to scenes. So if I press and hold, it will start the night scene, which turns on my fan, turns off the lights, and closes the curtains. Now, if I press and hold the top button, it does another scene that I made called Wakey Wakey, where the lights turn on, fan turns off, curtains open. That's been great, but honestly, I set those scenes to happen automatically, so I rarely use this switch for that anyways. This is a great way to be able to control your smart home without needing to pull up your devices every time. Like if you're using your iPad, your Mac, or most likely your phone. But on some reality, this is kind of a flop. So keep that in mind when you go into the store and consider getting these things. Now, honestly, you don't have much of an option if you're renting like me, because in my ideal world, this would just replace the actual light switch. Basically, I would like to have the function of an actual light switch while controlling my smart home and not disconnecting power from it. So yeah, that's been my review of the Matter Smart Switch. Definitely something to consider before you get this thing. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.